crazy to think that according to Board Game Geek, there's almost 200 different board game mechanics that can be assigned to any given game. In this video, we're going to explore them all. Wait, that was just a joke. We're not going to do that to you in this video. We'll do that over the next 6 months as we explore all of these different game mechanics on a daily short video here at Board Game Bar. In these videos, we'll be making recommendations of 3 games for each, like a game to introduce the mechanic to players, or a medium weight game to better understand the mechanic, and a heavier game where the mechanic is allowed to shine. In the realm of board games, alliances are not just made, they are forged in the heat of strategy and ambition. So welcome to the intricate world of alliances, where formal relationships dictate the path to victory or defeat. Unlike mere negotiation, alliances in these games are bound by rules, offering protection, shared victories, and sometimes unique powers. But beware, for those bonds can shift as swiftly as the game's tide. You can dip your toes into this mechanic with Binding of Isaac, 4 Souls. In this game, alliances are volatile in the game's darkly whimsical universe. Moving to a more moderate game, Kitsunedo is where strategy of alliances deepen. In this world, players navigate alliances with cunning and foresight, leveraging formal partnerships to outmaneuver opponents. For that heavier experience, you can look to the divine planes of Ankh, gods of Egypt, where alliances hold the power of deities. Here, gods form and break alliances to shape the fate of Egypt itself. In the world of board games, territory isn't just land, it's power. Welcome to the intense strategy of the area majority and influence mechanic. This mechanic goes beyond mere presence. It's about asserting your dominance. The more you control, the greater your influence, rewarding you with points, resources, or critical strategic advantages. To introduce people to this mechanic, you should start your journey with Shadows in the Forest. Here, the game unfolds in darkness, where players maneuver to keep their pieces in the shadows. A captivating introduction to area influence through an innovative play of light and shadow. For medium-weighted games, make sure you advance with Inish. Here, Celtic clans battle for supremacy over territories. It's not just about the number of warriors, it's about strategic placement and cunning moves. And for a heavier experience with the area majority and influence mechanic, Eclipse Second Dawn for the Galaxy transports you to interstellar conflicts. If you have ever strategized over a map, plotting your next move across the world of irregular terrains, you should be looking at games that make use of the area movement mechanic, where every territory holds the key to victory and every boundary defines your next strategy. Unlike grids or points, area movement is about navigating through uniquely shaped territories, making adjacency and movement a puzzle of its own. It's here where strategy deepens and the battle for control becomes truly immersive. To introduce people to this mechanic, dive into Small World, where fantasy realm races vie for control over a world too small for all of them. For a medium-weighted game, you can elevate your next gaming session with Rising Sun, a game of honor and negotiation set in mythical feudal Japan. And for a heavier experience with the area movement mechanic, Root offers a deep dive into asymmetric warfare in a woodland realm. In the cutthroat corridors of board gaming, one mechanic reigns supreme in tension and strategy: the auction bidding mechanic. It's not just about what you buy, but how much you're willing to risk for it. At the heart of this mechanic lies a pulse-pounding thrill of the auction, a battleground where players vie for supremacy, bidding on precious items that could turn the tide of the game. To introduce people to this mechanic, you have to start with Skull, the bluffing game of risk and deception. Here, bidding becomes a deadly dance. For a medium-weighted game, attract adventurers to enter your depths with Boss Monster, where building the deadliest dungeon is the goal. And for a heavier experience with the auction bidding mechanic, founders of Gloomhaven offers a deep dive into strategic bidding. Auctions here aren't just about items, they're about control, influence, and the very layout of the burgeoning city. Welcome your esteemed guests to the grand hall of auction compensation, a game mechanic where not winning is actually kind of a win. In games that use this mechanic, the audacious designers dare to reward the runners up, because in their world, everyone gets a trophy just for participating. To introduce people to this mechanic, we suggest a Bard Days Night, where bards clash in the ultimate showdown. Didn't get the epic loot you were bidding for? Fear not! Here, even the losers get to strum a lesser but still quite melodious consolation prize. It's like coming in second at a karaoke. Everyone still claps, but you know the truth. For a medium weight game, we have to recommend Furnace, the Industrial Revolution simulator where losing a bid doesn't leave you out in the cold. Miss out on a coal plant? Here, have some compensation resources to dry your tears. And for a heavier experience with the auction compensation mechanic, look no further than Lock Up, a role player tale, where even the toughest inmates in the clink get a consolation prize. If you ever wanted a bidding war with a twist, where the price only goes one way, down, you should look no further than games that make use of the Dutch auction mechanic, a realm where hesitation can cost you more than just that bid. In a Dutch auction, the game begins with the stakes sky high, only to plummet as time ticks on. It's a pulse-pounding race to shout, "Mine!" before anyone else, but at just the right moment to snag a bargain. To introduce people to this mechanic, you should embark on a quest with 8-Minute Empire, where the territories and resources start costly but become more tempting as the price falls. For a medium-weighted game, look no further than the castles of Mad King Ludwig, as you build your dream castles from a market that's forever in flux. And for a heavier experience with this Dutch auction mechanic, PAX Premier 2nd Edition offers a cutthroat gameplay in the fierce political landscape of 19th century Afghanistan. If you have ever been looking for a game where this auction block meets strategic foresight and every bid is a public declaration of intent, you should be looking at games with the auction fixed placement mechanic. Fixed placement turns the auction into a visual strategy game. Here, every bid is a move on the board, a dance of markers and intentions where you vie not just for your items, but your position, power, and the chance to outmaneuver your rivals. To introduce people to this mechanic, you can go on a journey into the whimsical dice manor, where each roll guides your bidding in a lively competition to furnish your manor with the most exquisite items. For a medium-weighted game, you can elevate your game with Stockpile, where stock market's frenzy is captured in every bid. And for a heavier experience with the auction fixed placement mechanic, Keyflower represents a rich tapestry of strategy and competition. Here, fixed placement auctions aren't just about acquiring resources, but also about controlling the flow of the game. If you're looking for a strategy and suspense where every bid is a pulse-pounding decision, you should be taking a look at games that use the auction once a round mechanic, where every bid counts. In this high-speed auction, players get one, yes, just one chance to outbid their opponents. It's a game of nerve and a test of resolve, where being the last can be a golden ticket, but only if you've played your cards right. To introduce people to this mechanic, you should embark on a quest with Claim, a realm where factions vie for power through cunning and strategy. For a medium-weighted game, you should elevate the stakes with Modern Art, this classic game where art and commerce collide. And for the ultimate test of your auction acumen, Ra challenges players to divine the will of the gods, with each bid can raise empires or spell out your demise. In the silent chambers of strategy, a battle of wits unfolds without a word. Welcome to the suspense-filled world of Auction Sealed Bid, where the fortunes are decided in the blink of an eye and victory can go to the bold and the silent. Here, your bid is a secret weapon cloaked in the shadows until your grand reveal. This mechanic creates a game of bluffing, bravery, and the psychological warfare of guessing your opponent's move with little to no information to go on. To introduce people to this mechanic, you should start your ascent with For Sale, where real estate is the playground and the sealed bid auction is the game. For a medium-weighted game, you should not look past Brick and Mortar, where the retail empire rise and fall on the bids you place. And for a heavier experience with the auction sealed bid mechanic, we can't recommend enough a Game of Thrones the board game. In this realm, the sealed bid auction determines the fate of the Seven Kingdoms. If you ever wanted the auction block to become the center stage where bidders are cast as dancers in a meticulous ballet, you should welcome your group to the world of auction turn order until pass, where patience, perception, and timing decide the victor. This mechanic invites you to a tactical duel where only one can claim the prize. Bid in turn, escalate the stakes, or strategically withdraw. Remember, once you pass, you're out, unless, of course, the game invites you back in for another round. To introduce people to this mechanic, step into the opulent world of high society, where players vie for status with their bids. For a medium-weighted game, you should set sail with Fleet, where the high seas are ripe for the bold. And for a heavier experience with the auction turn order until you pass mechanic, you should electrify your sessions with Power Grid, where power plants go under the hammer, fueling empires and fizzling out dreams. If you ever imagined a world where resources flourish on their own, guided by the strategic choices you've made, you should welcome your group to the ingenious mechanic of automatic resource growth, a testament to planning and foresight in the realm of board games. This mechanic celebrates the beauty of automatic condition-based growth. It's not about luck or chance, but the result of carefully crafted conditions within the game. Watch as your strategic decisions today bear fruit in future rounds. To introduce people to this mechanic, you should begin your journey in the vibrant New York Zoo, where your collection of animals and enclosures grow as you strategically plan your zoo's layout. For a medium-weighted game, you can step up to the mic with Draft and Write Records, where building your music empire relies on the artists and contracts you acquire. And for a heavier experience, Spirit Island offers a profound depth of automatic resource growth. Your actions as spirits shape the island, influencing how it grows and resists invaders. Because